What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Talk. Today I have in front of me Mr. Henriquez of the DP Party, Democratic Party, candidate number 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
You're a well-seasoned person. I could remember seeing you a very long time ago in politics. So I wanted to ask you this question first. Out of all the parties, why specifically DP?
Well, as you would know, as you said, and first of all, thanks for the invite.
No problem.
Feel very privileged to be here. It's good to see. I always support young people, entrepreneurship. Going into answering your question, if you could recall 2020, I ran as a leader of the UPC.
Yes.
I've been in politics for a while. At this juncture, why I chose the DP, because the DP was the only party that was willing to give me the opportunity to run.
Okay.
You know, fairly, squarely, very transparent.
Yeah.
In case in the talk that I had with them.
Yeah.
Secondly, because they were the party over the last couple of years was saying, listen, people, let's come together, let's work together if we want to do something serious for the country.
Yeah.
After I led in 2020, I realized that was the step to make.
Yeah.
And I took the challenge very serious, and I decided to take the step, you know, to work with them and see if the efforts from my side could contribute for us to come together and do something serious for the island.
Yeah. And was a big, because you had your own party, UPC.
But I didn't have my own party. I had a leadership assignment from the party board at that time.
Okay. And what's the difference between that party and particularly working with DP?
If I evaluate now, because now I'm in a position to evaluate, because when you're in a party and you look at other parties as opposition, so you're not really inside of the other parties to experience what goes on. Being with the UPC, it was always a challenge because it was a party that started in 2010, led by Zandam, that came out of the DP at that time. It was a challenge in terms of getting people to run. You know, you would have supporters, but nobody want to step up to the white line and do the work. You know, what I realized in the Democratic Party, it's a family party in terms of everybody involved. You know, everybody wants to help. Not everybody wants to go on the list, but everybody willing to come in and work and join and contribute from different angles. And I like that. I like that because it takes the weight off of the back of the core of the party. Doesn't say that those that postulate themselves as candidate, you don't work. Of course you work, but you don't do work alone. You know, so that's one of the essential things I like. The party is very open. And I'm saying those things because those are things you couldn't see if you're not part of the party. Very open, very transparent. You could sit on the table and talk. Of course, there are always going to be differences of opinion, but they are very consensus orientated. That is much I could say now. You know, but so I'm okay with those things.
How I was interested in how a party does go about putting who to go where and where to go, how to put a person on top of the list. How you typically just go about that?
Well, look, every party does it different. I remember way back when I started in 98, I was a rookie. I was green. You're involved. So some parties say, look, we want certain people of certain ranking, you know, on the top of the list. I experienced that with the C. I experienced that with the PLP. When I ran with the UPC, well, we didn't have an issue really because the party was small. Most parties, not all, because of their constitution, it says the party leader, Qualitat Qua, becomes the number 1 on the list. Most parties. That's the case with the DP now too. So when you're making your list, the leader's position is secured. Unless that person decides, I don't want to be there. You know, so then you start from 2 and the rest people that have. Normally what you would do, and I experienced that with the Democratic Party as well, is they would ask from a general perspective, who wants to run? Who interested in running? But what I like about them, that question came out very early in terms of you need to come in, you need to work along, you need to know what we believe in, you need to know what our goals are, you need to know where we're heading. You know, so that kind of thing. And they formulate the party. The list is formulated by the general board. You know, and when you have all the names, what I experienced with them this year, I had the privilege to chair that particular meeting as vice president of the party. what I suggested and what we did was, look, everybody that comes to the meeting, as long as you have a quorum, make a list that you would like to see. Because at the end of the day, whatever list you have, everybody needs to push that list. Because candidates alone can't campaign, because you're not going to be, that's not enough. You need all your supporters, all your party members. So you, if you give them a say in forming the list, it makes it a lot easier and a lot better for them to go out and push that list. You know, so we went that route where we had a meeting, and in the meeting, not only board members but other party members could have provided a list. So look, if these are the candidates that's running, this is how I look at the list. Of course, you have people who chose to run, and they would say, look, I don't want to be high. I want to be low. I want to be here, but so the party, so we hear those things. And that's how it went about. So we had I think we had 5 lists set up, and we put all the lists on a whiteboard. And then we voted. So you have the list, and you have the 5 lists put up on the board. And then we vote, how do you feel about the proposals? So we vote on the 5 proposals we had, and that's how we came about with our prospective draft list. And that draft list was presented to the whiteboard. And then we took a decision.
I've been watching the lives a lot, and I noticed that it was one of your party members that talked about the budget of government. And if I'm not mistaken, they say that only 9% of the government's budget is usually what comes from itself. The rest is more like what comes from outside. Let's say your party get in. What was one of the first things you can do in order to increase that 9% from where it is right now?
Well, one of the first things we spoke about doing is, look, you could have a lot of ideas, you could have a lot of plans. I have to honestly say our faction in the council now provides us with a lot of information. But what we believe in once we get into government, one of the first things we would want to do is an assessment. A general assessment. Let's read up on what is presented. Let's see what kind of reports we have. Whatever is documented is documented. Right now it is so for true that 91% of the budget is supported by all kind of different financing, catering, whatever. You know, and we need to find a way, because if we want to be self-sufficient, it's easier to say the word. But it got homework. You know, it have a lot of homework in it. If I would sit here now and say exactly what we would do, it would be premeditated. You know, I said to my party as well, for me, if I'm in the council, I need to do an assessment. I need to see what is documented. I need to find myself in the information, what is there. I need to look to see what the opportunities are, you know, before I could say to the public, this is what the steps we're going to take. Of course, we have ideas. We want to have a better financial system. What does that mean? It is very broad. We need to look, what is the reason why right now our budget is supported 95%, 91% by the federal government? Because if it was the other way around, we wasn't going to have an issue. We could have done a lot of things by yourself. Reality is reality, though. It is what it is at this stage. If we want to increase that 9 to 11, because we need to stay realistic. We are not going to, nobody is going to be able to increase our income, our input from 9 to 50. That is very unrealistic if anybody tell you that. So for me, it's one step at a time. Let's look at the possibilities. If I use an example, I'm giving you a pre on my next presentation, is the whole issue about infrastructure. Everybody talking infrastructure. Infrastructure could contribute to tourism. It's infrastructure. But we need to be very, very realistic at the fact that road tax, number plate, doesn't bring up the money that is needed to do a road, not even one road. You understand? So we have a huge backlog as to reconstruction, building roads, the works. If you're going to say we want more money, realistically, if you have an income now of $450,000 for road tax and number plate and all those kind of stuff, $450,000 doesn't make it up for a $5 million road. Do the math. So raising the road tax, what does that mean? You're digging deeper down in people's pocket. And then you're going to get the controversy, but you're raising the road tax, but you're not fixing the road. You know, so you're going to have that back and forth all the time. And that's why for me and the party, we want to do a serious assessment. Let's dig down in the system. Is everybody paying road tax? Is everybody buying number plates? It works. Once you have that down pack, then you could start to look at the next step. What can we do to not to pressure the public, but still give them proper roads to run on. Because the word money you're getting now is just to patch roads mainly and stuff
Exactly,
like that.
exactly.
You would know just as good as I. Cost of consultancy is huge.
Exactly.
A third of that 450 done gone by just getting a draft.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so I don't want to jump the gun and say things that I'm not sure that I could work out. Because if you make an assessment, when you finish make that assessment, you would put yourself in a position to come with proposals. You know, so that's how I operate.
Yeah, okay then. For the people, you know, they have a lot of people who say like they're unsure about the vote. And I think if last election, it was 60% of people, somewhere around
65.
Yeah.
I'm not sure either.
So a good bit of people didn't choose to vote. They still have people who kind of unsure. What would you say to people like that?
Look, I would start by saying there are so many countries where the population doesn't have a say of who run their country.
Yeah.
So many populations in countries that you don't have any voting rights.
Yeah.
I always start there. It's a privilege. It's a democratic right of every individual that is 18 plus and registered and could vote.
Yeah.
It's your rights.
Yeah.
And that's a right many people around the world would have loved to have. I would say to people, look, we need to have a government. If you don't vote, they will have a government. And I always believe that if you have the opportunity to have a contribution as to who will lead your country for the next 4 years, it's 4 years. And very realistic. If you hire somebody to work for you, you give them a period, a test period, a contract or whatever, because you have to be able to evaluate if those person is giving you what you're paying them for, what your wish is. And if they're not, let them go, give them another period, whatever. I'm strictly talking about evaluation. We need to start to learn to evaluate the people we put in government. But just sitting home and saying, I am not going to vote. You're saying to me that from the 20-something to 30 people that postulate themselves, you have confidence in none of those people. People have cries. People are suffering on the inside. But we also need to teach our people to be realistic, pragmatic. It is what it is. I might want to be like Jaquil, but can I live like Jaquil? You know, my mom always say, don't hang your basket where you can't reach it. If people want help, if you want me to help you, I expect you to be open with me. You know, because then I could evaluate, I could assess, and I could say, well, if I was you, I would do such. You know, a lot of people, they choose to stay home because they're hearing so much aversion. But what I would say to people, evaluate what you hear. Station small, and that's a privilege because we're closer to whatever happens on the island. You could be able to decipher the difference of what you hear from the different parties, how realistic it is. My last presentation, for example, right up your area was about the housing. And I believe that because I was on the board for years, I worked for the Housing Foundation, it was an easy enough presentation for me in the fact that I want people to understand what it means to own a house. It is not something that would fall in your lap. By saying to people, hey, playing on people's emotion is something that I'm totally against. You know, by saying to them, but I'm going to make sure you get a house at a reasonable price. What is reasonable? Let's be realistic. You have your kids, there's rules and regulations in the house. You don't want to follow it, the rules and regulations, you're going to be punished. It is what it is. For me, my message to the people is, come out and vote because it broadens your say. It gives you the rights to evaluate. It gives you the rights to come to me and say, Henriquez, I voted. I don't care if you don't vote for me or not, I vote for my party. Of course we want to win. But it gives you the right that I voted. By voting, I give myself a say. I don't like what are you doing. And if that's the way are you behaving, next election, I ain't voting for these people. Give yourself that motive. That's my message. Come out and vote. Because if you don't vote, doesn't mean that it's not going to be a government.
That's true. But then you also got to look at, I look at it from another perspective that a lot of times in the past, you see a lot of projects was supposed to be started or supposed to happen and then they don't happen, and now 20 years later, we talk about the same exact problem that happening. So it means some people could get a little uneasy with that because it's like nothing ain't really happening.
People could get uneasy when they're not well informed.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be very open and honest, if I may, in this program.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Sometimes we tend to listen to what we want to hear.
Yeah.
But people are plenty times are not well informed. We had a lot of projects. I came to Station 93 out of the university, and we started to talk about the Cliff project that year.
Yeah.
What was the reason why we couldn't do nothing about the Cliff? We just didn't have the money. We just didn't have the money. On the other hand, when money was flowing, we misused the money. We wasn't giving any accountability. We wasn't writing any reports, improper supervision. I always say to people, look, running a country comes with a sample. If you give your children allowance, you need to know what they're doing with it. Your daughter or son come to you and say, Pa, listen, that $5 what you give me, can I get 10? First question from a responsible parent would be, what you do with what I give you?
Exactly.
And what you're going to do with 5 more?
Exactly.
When you look at a country, we need to be realistic that we are not in a position to come up with all the funds we need for all the projects to develop Statia. You need assistance. In this case, people don't like to hear it, but the mother country is supporting us. It's assisting us. You know, but it comes with rules and regulation, and it comes with accountability is a very, very strong word. You have to tell them, you have to report to them, what have you done with the money? If you get money to buy mics, you can't go and buy headphones without permission.
Exactly.
It asks for what we call in Dutch,
beschikkingswijziging.
So you got to go back to the person who gave you the money and say, listen, you give me money to buy mics. I got 2 good mic. I might need an extra one, but I ain't got no headphones. So I can't hear myself. May I use some of that money to buy headphones? That's how it works.
Exactly.
Very simple, just like your household. You know, so I want to say to people, a lot of people saying, we don't want to hear what happened in the past.
Exactly.
But the past takes you to the present, so you could create a future.
Exactly.
You don't keep dawning on the past. But if you want to improve the mistakes you made when you probably was a youngster, if you didn't accept those mistakes, if you didn't open yourself to those mistakes, you probably would have been making them still.
Exactly.
But because you open yourself to those mistakes and you say to myself, boy, Jaquil, you don't want to do these things again.
Exactly.
But by saying that means you did an own assessment. And you make up a plan. Let me try something else. Let me go somewhere else. Let me try another job. Because you're feeling out with your education, where do I fit in? In a community like Statia. This is not the outer world. You know, so that's how I grew up looking at things, and that's how I talk to people about things. What we didn't, because Statia is on a backlog development. I don't like to talk about third world because it's only super gross. We on a backlog development.
Exactly.
We have had projects where the goal wasn't met. The White Elephant, for example, if I don't know if you could recall, you probably was still young. That was supposed to be a hospital, but it's housing offices now. You understand? So it didn't go well. But we were supposed to learn from our mistakes. Up to now, we don't have a brand new hospital. We upgrading and upgrading and upgrading. At some point in time, we have to sit down, and it is not the prerogative of government to build a new hospital. So government, the island council, the executive council, whoever, have to go sit on the table with the hospital executive board and see, hey, what is your desire? They running the show.
Exactly.
You know, so that's how I look at, we didn't achieve a lot then, and that's the core. We have an opportunity now, because it's not going to be there forever. The finances we get in now, we need to use them constructively. Because when there's no longer there, we should have achieved our basis. So that's how I look at the situation.
When you go into the island council, it's not you by yourself. Your party might win. Let me say your party win 3, however, you still have to work with other persons within the island council itself. If you got 3, you got an authority.
It's a cohesiveness. And again, it depends on the party, how they choose to behave. The behavior of a party should be determined prior. We have already said to ourselves, we're looking at the cohesive part of it. It doesn't mean, of course, if you win 3 or more seats, you have the majority. You are in the opposition, I don't really need you. We're looking at it different. We're looking at it, for example, if you are in the opposition and you come with a proposal that is constructive, that is going to make a difference for the community, we are going to support it. If you come with a motion, and the motion is a bit contradicting, but it's something we could fix, you have the option in the Island Council to take a scorsing, what we would call, go in the back room, talk about it as 5 Island Council members, make the adjustments, bring it back, that it supports the general concern of the people, and vote on it. But it take adult behavior
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
It takes, you got to want to do that.
Yeah.
Politics could be played from a lot of different angles.
Yeah.
You bring something because you're in the opposition, I'm not going to support it.
Yeah.
And then
Thinking
you're taking the general concept of why you're there out of the game.
Exactly.
You understand? But of course, if you bring something and I'm saying, look, you're only doing something for a few, what happened to the rest?
Yeah.
And you don't see that, of course I'm not going to support.
Yeah.
Because once the results is out on the 15th of March, it's about the people generally.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter their color. It doesn't matter who you support. You know, in the council, you took the oath that you're going to work for everybody.
Yeah.
But it needs to be brought to the table in a manner that it supports the majority crew.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
As we talk about investment, like if somebody giving you money from away, I expect if somebody invest in my business, I expect them to have some type of control in something and this or this or that. But in general, on the island, I feel personally there's not that much being done for the business community. From a perspective of, let's say if someone come from away and they want to start a business, but it ain't a business that could start with a little bit of money. Like me, I could get a camera and I could continuously build on that until I reach to a certain point. But let's say you want to start a business that you need 25, 50,000 in order to start, but they ain't much to help the person. What incentives could be put in place?
I don't totally agree with you if I may say so,
okay,
that
there's
there's not
no
much
problem.
to help the people because you have the small business fund. I don't know if you familiarize
I don't
yourself
know
with
nothing
them.
about that. No.
They are situated on the road behind of the ATM in town here. Just cross that street where the upstairs building is. They are situated there. And it's a government institution. They get subsidy from the public entity yearly. When I looked at the budget, I realized they get like $30,000 a year.
Yeah, I see in this budget.
Ain't much.
Yeah.
I think that in negotiations, and I said it in one of our presentations publicly too, one of the things that we would want to be looking at is how do they function?
Yeah.
What do they do? It's an assessment. You're going to hear me using that word all the time. We need to assess why are they only getting 30,000? Why they don't get 200,000? That they could stick at 25,000 in a business that wants to start, a new entrepreneur. Why? What is their goal? What is their? I need to look at their statute and say why are they there? You know, because when I look at the 30,000 and I bust it down in 12 months, that's a salary and utilities, and that's about it. Do we are we just keeping the doors open because of employment, or do we really have? Because here the word says small business enterprise, I think it is. I don't quote me on that.
It's a foundation or business or something?
It's a foundation, subsidized by the government.
This is the first time I heard
understand?
About that.
If you look in the budget, has a sheet, a page. I can't remember the page
number. No, I see it in there.
It gives you all like station housing, everybody, what subsidy they get per year. They are in there. And one of the things I said to my party, a matter of fact, I said it publicly. That would be one of my assessments if I'm in the council tomorrow or 15th of March. I want to see, I want to read, I want to hear what is this organization about and why. Because before 10-10-10, we had the Small Business Fund. They used to get money from an organization in Curacao. I really can't remember the name now. But since 10-10-10, you know, the whole change up, they had to shut down. Because I myself, when I started my business, I had to get some funds from them. I had to pay them back. And so for me, it's important to find out what is the goal of this foundation, who does it serve, you know, and why we not having more money put in that organization, that the organization could create a development fund. The words sound big, but it's revolving. I give you 25, you pay me a 2%, 3% interest, because that interest come in, I could help somebody else. I could help somebody else. And I realized between last 2-3 years, quite some young people, you know, wants to start a business. And like you said, but they don't have the funds to start a business. You know, and even if it's a small business, a camera don't cost $2.
No, exactly,
you know, so
exactly.
It's a lot when you don't have it.
You
understand? So you can't go and open a plan to pay down for a camera, because if you don't have to pay, you don't have to pay.
Exactly.
So that's my goal right there, in answering your question. I would want to assess the existence of that foundation. And if it needs reviving, if it needs reorganizing, we as a council should be in a position, because the council is approving a budget, or will be approving a budget in the future, that helping subsidize that foundation that belongs to us. It's a multi-year program, so they're going to be getting that 30,000. We got to stop it somewhere and say, okay, you're getting 30,000. This is our assessment. We're not going to give you 50,000. We're not going to give you 200,000. We're going to bring me a sheet. You got to do your homework. How much young entrepreneurs, how much young business people has approached you for funding? You have to have a data list. Let's see what they want to do. Let's see the copy of the business license. What kind of business you want to start? Because you can't overload the same kind of business in your island neither. And we would then come with a motion. It's okay, we don't have the money, or we may not have the money, but we should be able to be in a position to look for assistance to put in this. That could revolve.
Exactly.
And after a while, we could probably even cut down their subsidy, because they could become self-sufficient off the interest. So that's the mindset that I have pertaining to that.
Because
of course, it's not the 16th of March
no,
but it's a work that have to be.
I understand, because when I see the
developed.
30,000, I said it's almost impossible for multiple businesses to go.
No, I when I calculate it, I mean, 30,000 divided by 12 gives you $2,000 something a month is a salary and utilities, and the doors are open. But what exactly do they do? What do they submit? A year report? Do they submit a budget? What? From the budget, I could not determine that.
Exactly.
You know, so coming into the council, I would ask to see those things. That is for me and the party, a top priority. You know, let's look at the things that we already have. How can we fix them? Get them functioning right. Of course, you have the business association, but they are different. They are independent body. But if we have foundations being subsidized by government, then we need to make sure as a council that they function proper. And if they have reasons why they can't function proper, then we need to go to the table and see what we could. It's easier, maybe a little challenging, but it's easier to fix what you have than to start something new.
Exactly.
Basically. So that's the view that we have.
And I see you mentioned about top priorities. Assuming that you have more than one. At least what's another top priority you all have as a party?
In our party pamphlet, we chose consciously not to write a party program with multiple pages. The reason for that is you could say to your child, I'm going to buy you a PlayStation 5. We take something more than. But then at the end of the month, unforeseen comes in. That you need to take care of the household. You would be forced to go back to that child and say, Papa can't buy you a PlayStation 5 now. I always like to use household example because it coincides. You always could have, we have more priorities. I don't know all of them off my head, but finance is one, medical is one, general development for the country is one. You know, so what we did in our party pamphlet, I don't know if you saw it before, we have four areas of prioritize, and under those 4 areas, we have bullets. Under finance, we want to see what if we need to do something by the finance department. You know, those different areas. So yes, we do, but we didn't, how you say that, substantiate it in so many words because the documentation that we would have access to when we enter the council, we know where we want to go. For example, medical is a top priority. Everybody talking about medical. But you don't know all the ins and outs.
Exactly.
You understand? So I find it's unfair to tell people what they want to hear. I find it's fair enough, regardless to the consequences, to tell people what they need to hear, but actually what the situation is. And then you take your step from there. So for us, yes, we have those 4 areas and all the brackets underneath it. But that's a mindset that we have based on the information that we are privy to. But it goes a lot deeper than that. You know, even if you look at the budget and you read the entire budget, it gives you an impression. But it doesn't give you the reality of the situation. You know, so I'm saying to people, and we are saying to people, look, we want to make a difference. We want to, of course, because I live here too, you want a different environment.
Yeah.
You want people to be more relaxed.
Yeah.
But we need to be realistic too. Buying a 2022 BMW and you don't have a house and you're still renting, put that money somewhere else. Buy a cheaper car.
Exactly.
Because you need transportation, but contribute towards a little apartment for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up and my parents always said to me, look, one of the first things you need to do when you start to work is to have a roof over your head.
Yeah.
And I took that very serious.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it works for a lot of people. It could work, and that's why the situation that is being politically played in Golden Rock with a lot of people who may not be in a position to ever buy a house.
Yeah.
We also, their area, we need to look at options.
Yeah.
So all of these segments, we need to look at options. What's good for you may not be good for me.
Yeah.
What's good for me may not be good for another individual.
Exactly.
But as government, we have a responsibility to do for everybody.
Yeah.
Not going to be easy. I could sit here and tell you because I've been in the council before.
Yeah.
It is challenging, and that's where the cooperation of all 5 island council members is important.
Yeah.
If we are saying that this election is more critical than the other, then we need to be able to stand up as adults and put our minds together, put our political differences together and say, look, we are the ones that are in the council. That was the choice of the people.
Yeah.
Then we need to give the people the reasons why they put us there. We need to substantiate that.
Exactly.
Simple.
Exactly.
Look, it may sound simple because that's how I see it. You have to take the task serious.
Yeah.
If at the 4 years you haven't been successful with everything, you should be able to tag off, hey, I did this, we succeed that, people are living different, but we didn't get to do this and we didn't get to do that. But you also, as you go, inform people where you at.
Yeah.
You mentioned it for just now, hey, you have projects, but the periodical evaluation has been lacking for years. You know, and it goes the same with the council.
Yeah.
You have quarterly reports, but even politically, you should have a place, a way where you as a party or you as a council or whoever you want to strategize it, you have to be telling the people, in the campaign, we said we were going to deal with X.
Yeah.
This is where we are.
Okay.
These are the stumbling blocks we met.
Yeah.
We ain't going to make this. Nothing. This is going to take us more than 4 years.
Yeah.
Even if you don't get the votes the next 4 years, fine.
Yeah.
But you next day you could get up and walk and talk to these people because along the way you have kept them up to date.
Exactly.
And tell them, hey, this is where we started.
Yeah.
This is what we found.
Yeah.
We had to deal with this. This is the stumbling block. We're gonna do this, but we can't do that.
Yeah.
So some gonna get help and some is not. I believe in being realistic.
Yeah. Another big thing that a lot of people talk about is price control. I just try to wonder if it's something that government has to do, or it's something that just because the world changing, everything just rising.
The world is changing.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be used as a smokescreen.
Yeah.
I'm looking for another example again. You are managing director of the Housing Foundation.
Yeah.
The basic point is you want to live in my house, you need to pay rent.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Don't bring me no excuse why this month you couldn't pay rent, whether it's Christmas, Easter, New Year's, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You need to pay rent. So it has to be a priority on your list to pay rent.
Exactly.
You can't, if you don't pay stucco, they cut you.
Yeah.
So I'm saying government has its role to play.
Yeah.
Any department of licenses has a department that has to deal with price control.
Yeah.
There's legislation. I don't know all the legislation in my head. I'm not going to sit here and create something. But what I know is there is legislation that, for example, certain things in the supermarkets are labeled as basic needs.
Yeah.
I know for sure because I had a discussion with someone the other day. Henriquez bread got up to $3.50.
Yeah.
And I sat there and I broke it down for them.
Yeah.
Because they're saying to me, but I thought, you say flour is a basic need.
Yeah,
I say, yes, but could you eat flour as bread?
Yeah.
You need Crisco, you need lard, you need water, you need butter, you need all the other ingredients that may not fall in that package that could cause bread price to go up.
Yeah.
If the legislation say that bread, what I know is that wanting to increase the price of bread should have the input of government.
Yeah.
So you have to substantiate that.
Okay.
But apart from, I think it is flour and milk and a few more other items are considered basic items that are not taxed because they are basic needs.
Yeah.
Outside of that, government has a responsibility to have their civil servant, whoever's appointed in that position, to go around periodically and look at the prices,
Yeah.
look at the quality that is being presented to the public, to make sure that supermarkets are not selling expired goods.
Yeah.
Number one, not spoiled goods,
Yeah.
not goods that was frozen, defrost, and you put them back or you could see them.
Yeah.
What we call freezer burn.
Yeah.
They also have the responsibility. A can of hot dog this month was 75 cents, and then next month is 150.
Yeah.
And I using the same term, global changes or the changes in the world. It has an impact.
Yeah.
But does it double up on the impact? Is that so? Because if that's the case, when oil go down, why the prices don't go down? For example, you know, a prime example what I learned from people who run in gas station is you buy a tank of gas.
Yeah.
Today it costs $1 a liter. Let me keep it simple.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, the price of gas got down. But that would be for the next tank.
Yeah.
Because you can't carry on the price on this tank. Because
exactly.
if you carry down to 75 cents a liter, you for every liter you sell, you losing 25 cents because you bought it before the price went down.
Exactly.
So that's also something that government has a say.
Yeah.
Because government is the one that says it doesn't say they approve the changes for fuel.
Yeah.
Gasoline and diesel and cooking gas and those type of things. So as a business, you're not running a business to lose, but it has to be monitored. You understand? So price control is something that government has legislation on. For me, or for us as a party going into government, it would mean let's look at our legislation. What does it say? Is there somebody doing it now? Why? If they don't have somebody, then we need to look for somebody because it is super ridiculous for you. You go, and I'm not against any business. But if 3-4 businesses bringing in goods together, theoretically it should be cheaper. You understand?
Exactly.
And if those 3, 4, 5 businesses who bringing in stuff together, and I shopping by those businesses, and every item I buy by those businesses, difference of 50, 75 cents to $1, something wrong. You understand? So that's the core of how are you controlling the prices. Of course, we have taxes, we have all kind of stuff, and but fuel going up and transport going up. Going up how? Going up where? You know, and we should be able as a government to answer those questions to the public. What have you done? What was your result of your assessment? What can you do to change that? Because if it could have things that is totally out of our control. And we can't do nothing about it. My colleague Remy talked about getting a ship that would bring things directly from a distance. What is the consequences of that? Is that going to alleviate the taxes? There's a lot of angles to look at. And plus, there are certain things that are not on island level, the regulation. So we will have to sit on the table with the federal government and say, look, these things are hurting my people. What can we do?
And then, for example, then you would say, for example, it's a communication problem because, let me say, you speaking to me right now and you tell me, for example, certain things that ain't supposed to get taxed. But if I don't know somebody who know about that, I wouldn't know about those certain type of things.
It's the manner in which information goes out. How regular do you remind people that? Look, let's be open and honest, Pun. Business is business. I run in a supermarket, a mini market, a toko, whatever. I want to make money. I need to know. I supposed to know what is taxable and what is not taxable. But if I get a chance to make the money, why not? So there's where the control come in. If you go in the shop and as a control from government, you realize every time I come here, the price gone up. You have your right to ask questions.
Exactly.
But the rule says that. Why your flour gone up from last month to next month? Why? And the shop owner supposed to be able to explain you that.
Exactly.
So if the law is correct, it doesn't matter how much you pay for the flour. It says it doesn't allow to be taxed.
Exactly.
Figure it out.
You
understand? So we need to coordinate that. And I agree with you. It might be a little more than just communication. It has to be more on proper communication. How do you inform people? How do you do the checks and balances? Because bread is not a commodity. It's not a luxury.
No.
It's a basic need. maybe a lot of people don't eat bread for whatever reason, but it is bread. You grew up eating bread as a child. So I guess that was one of the reasons where it fall in the basic need, but not the bread, not the end result of the bread. Probably some of the ingredients of the bread, is in that manner. But it all has to do with checks and balances. And if government has a role to play, the Island Council, as a superior administrative body, would have to make sure that the Executive Council carry out the contents of legislation. Basically, that's how it is. It's just the same thing like you have a supervisory board, they set the paces, you execute with your staff. That's how it works. If you see, hey, this ain't working, you come with a proposal in your management and you take it back to the board.
Exactly.
So it's a two-way street.
I have one final question for you. Why should people in specifically vote for you?
I'm a team player. Let me start with that. I don't really campaign ever and say to people, vote for Elvin Henriquez. I say to people, we have a team. We have a list. In this case, we have 8 candidates. It is my responsibility once I postulate myself. A matter of fact, even before that, from the moment I get the thought of wanting to be involved in politics, I had to know why. Because you could get elected and you may not. But the question always is, what happens when you do? So it's a mindset, but you need to prepare yourself and tell yourself, I want to do this. And the moment you tell yourself you want to do this, you are expected that even before you become a candidate, you have to profile yourself. In answering your question, when I came back home, it's home for me, even though I wasn't born here. I grew up here. And I always felt, but that's how I ended up in politics. I always felt that living in Statia, I always look at the broader world. That we, despite of our situation back then, had opportunities others did not around the world. One of those opportunities that was granted to me is because at that time, Statia didn't have a secondary school. So I was given the opportunity to go away, to go to school. We didn't have scholarship, but we had housing allowance. You get to go away, you get a couple hundred guilders at that time. Your goal is to find yourself an education. Having an opportunity, I did my schooling and I came back in 93. And the reason for me coming back was not a must. I could have stayed in Curacao, have an engineering job. But I chose to come back because I felt that I had to give something back to the community. At that stage, it wasn't necessary politically. So I looked for other ways that I could contribute. I've been on school boards. I've been on the Housing Foundation board. I've been in sports for years. I've chaired different boards. What has that done for me was, at least that's the way I took it. It was a phases of preparing myself if I want to get in politics. How to take popular and unpopular decisions. Because don't shun away from it. And I know you probably confronted it because you have a key position in this community. There are times you have to tell people no. That's not what they want to hear. But what does the no mean? So for me, I've been in the volleyball as chairman for 27 years. It had its challenges. I've been in basketball, and I've always had the luxury to be in key positions in the daily board, secretary, president. So being in those organizations, being a school board in different sectors of the island, I was exposed to dealing with different sectors of people. Different kind of people. So you learn how to deal with people. You know how to talk to people. You learn how to understand people in small groups. Because if you're in volleyball, you're only dealing with the volleyballers mainly. If you're in housing, you're only dealing with the housing people. But when you step up the ladder, or when you decide, I want to step up, I want to get involved in politics. This is the entire country, island you're talking about. You're no longer in a position to pick and choose. Oh, I'm going to do for punt, but I ain't doing for X. You don't have the luxury anymore. So I have used that for myself. And my achievements, I have used it to profile myself to the public. I have allowed the public to evaluate me in those positions. And then tell me if you feel I have the capability to represent you on that particular level.
Okay.
Yeah. Even in my work.
Yeah.
You know, you go about your work and for example, I say to people, I've had different jobs in Statia, but I was never fired from any. It was always my choice, even when I worked for the federal government. Hey, I want to go back to my sector. You know, but in every sector that I sat, I made sure that I did what I could to make it better. You don't always satisfy everybody. You don't always keep everybody contented. But you have to watch yourself and tell yourself, hey, I've done what I could. I've tried my best, you know, and look back and say, okay, this is the fruit I left behind. I feel good enough to move on. When I had the opportunity, because I wasn't elected, but with change of the coalition in 2013, I had an opportunity to sit in the council. You know, and that too was an added value. I only sat in the council for 18 months because after that, there was election. We got back in with a whole different setting. I use the same format. I need to be honest. I need to be transparent. I need to be open. I'm here for a purpose.
Exactly.
Take decisions that are good for Peter and not good for Paul. You know, some people ridicule you, but others are happy. One of the things that played a huge role at that time when we switched from Antilles to public entity, the Dutch system does not acknowledge laborers. So everybody had to be scaled in. Everybody became civil servants based on your level. You had people that had 2, 3, 4 jobs with the government. And it caused your unemployment rate to go up. And I said that's not fair. You know, it's my people. If I'm saying I'm a council member and I'm there for everybody, if you got 3 jobs and your neighbor and your neighbor and your neighbor don't have any, I'm going to give you one. I ain't firing you. But those other 3 are sharing them. I'm reducing the unemployment. Everybody has a consistent income. How they use it is a different story. There's a next page we have to turn. I was ridiculed as a party, as a candidate at that time. It could have been the reason why we still got to see the next time. But again, I'm saying it didn't give the result that we thought we would get because you would think you're doing something good. But again, what's good for Peter didn't look good for Paul. I'm saying to people, judge me on my behavior. You don't need to like me. You need to like what I did for the community over the years. Just tonight, by our session, people were saying, but I don't want to hear what you did over the years. But it tells you about me. So when you hear me come to the podium and I give a presentation, you got to realize it's not a fake presentation. You have to realize this is what he has been all the time. You know, you build yourself from a young man. It goes back to discipline. And when I stand up there, because let's be honest, Mr. Punt, after election, the community is not going to change. I'm going to drive down the road and I'm going to see you. What do I do? Hide? Do I not hail? Because of what? I said something on the podium that wasn't right. You know what a lot of people don't realize in this small community? Because look, you lived abroad, you live in Holland and stuff. If you run politics in Amsterdam and you move to Rotterdam, nobody know you. The chance is very small then. But if you run election in Statia and you live Union, you think going to Lange, nobody know you. People know you. You understand? And it's about you at the end of the day. It's about what you stand for. If you don't get elected, you get away with murder because nobody coming to ask you nothing. But if you get elected, people looking for you to produce.
So
for me, I provide myself and say, listen, for example, with volleyball, I have done all the segments that I have seen outside. Because when you go outside, you're supposed to learn, bring it back, sift out what could be implemented on your island and do that. You know, we have had quality tournaments here over the years. Give my athletes a chance. You know, and after that I chose in 2020, okay, I give half of my life to volleyball. I'm moving out. Somebody has a chance. Let me do something else. I've been working at the school for years. You know, so I've done it. That's what I think I could do. I'm still in the Sports Facility Foundation, which is another huge challenge. But people, when I say to people, look, the day is going to come when I'm going to move on. But what's going to happen? Hey, I'm preparing people. I'm working with people. Somebody got to take up the tab. You're not going to be manager of the Housing Foundation for the rest of your life. Somebody got to take up the tab. So I'm saying to people, I don't share my achievements or I don't share my involvement just to brag. That's not what I'm about. I'm sharing it because I want you to take a constant decision based on what I did in the community to give your impression if I'm worth voting for or not.
Exactly.
And if you feel that I'm not worth voting for, then I have 7 other candidates on the list that you could give that vote to. So, as I started, it's not about me. It's about the party.
Exactly.
If the party does well, I gonna shout.
If
the party does bad, we gonna cry. Because it's about us. But if the opportunity is given to me to represent, I will do it to the best of my ability. So yes, people who feel that I have the ability based on the things I do, but not only the things I say, I will be grateful for the opportunity.
Which is understandable. Thank you for being a part of the podcast. Thanks for coming out. For the persons for watching right now, don't forget to like, share the video, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bless.
Thank you.
Yeah.